My name is Jürgen Martschukat. I'm a professor of North American history at Erfurt University. I'm a historian and I focus on modern history and on North American history in particular. And in my research, I have a strong focus on the 19th and 20th century, and I'm particularly interested in the history of everyday life and how people interact and how they relate to the society they live in and how they participate in society and access its resources and what type of contributions they make. What I find so interesting about the theory of resonance is that it somehow interacts with all these theoretical approaches. So for me, actually, it's quite new, and it's a quite new theory, as I would say, but it very strongly speaks to ideas and understandings that have been around for a while, and what I then think, and that's something that I hope that our graduate school will show, is that the theory of resonance will unfold its power really when we will start working with it. So when we use it in serious research with sources, we historians, when we use it with source material, and really try to see how it works when we try to understand the history of people and how they interact with the world, which understandings of themselves they develop, in which time period, and what they are attached to. Working with young scholars, junior research, graduate students, that's where the action is. That's really that's a favorite part of my work in general, because that's where, and I'm that serious, that's where I think creativity comes from. And that's just extremely stimulating. And then particularly if you get them together in a group, and then you have this group momentum which leads to really new thoughts, and you know, they come up with new ideas all the time. They work with theories differently, and they work with the sources, and that's really where the research is, and that's extremely inspiring. Theories open up different perspectives on history, and if there is something that I want to pass on to younger scholars, it's that we need to do both, that we need to see our source material, and that we also need to work with theories, with particular approaches, because we need to reflect upon what we are doing in our research and in our work. And it's particularly this combination of source work, die-hard research, and theoretical inspiration that needs to be merged and that needs to interact to produce really new, stimulating, and creative history writing. And that's something that I would love to pass on to, or that I like to pass on, or try to bring across to younger scholars and graduate students. And I think this graduate school is really tailor-made for this purpose and for this approach to the writing of history. I think a good graduate student, first of all, has to be a good historian, but then he or she has to be really dedicated to the subject, and what is very important for me is creativity. So the most stimulating work and interaction really comes out of the desire to try to think something new and come up with something new. And that's what young people do, and that's what I expect of my graduate students. What I'm really hoping is that our graduate school with Graz and Erfurt will be the center of a continuously expanding network of scholars on the whole planet who work on self-world relations across time periods and across regions.